The interspecies veterinary clinic on Station Kepler 9 had treated thousands of species over the decades, but nothing had prepared veterinarian Thexiel for the human who walked in carrying a contained specimen of a Varix tunnel viper. "Please," the human woman named Rebecca Torres said, setting the containment box on the exam table. "He hasn't been eating for 3 days. I'm worried." Thexiel's 4 eye stalks recoiled in horror. Through the transparent aluminum, a sleek serpentine creature coiled around itself. Midnight black scales with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed hypnotically. It was perhaps 2 feet long, but Thexiel recognized it immediately from the xenobiology databases. "That," Thexiel said slowly, "is a Varix tunnel viper, native to Varix 3. They're classified as Class 5 lethal predators." "I know," Rebecca said. "That's why I came to a specialist. My regular vet back on Earth only handles terrestrial species." "You don't understand." Thexiel's translator crackled with urgency. "Their venom contains 17 different neurotoxins. One bite delivers enough poison to kill a fully grown thrall in under 30 seconds. Even with immediate medical intervention, survival rate is less than 4%. They're responsible for the evacuation of 2 mining colonies." Rebecca nodded, pulling up her sleeve. "Yeah, they're nippy little guys. Got tagged last week when I was cleaning his habitat." She showed her forearm. There, barely visible, were 2 tiny puncture marks surrounded by a small, faded bruise. Thexiel's eye stalks went rigid. That's impossible. You should be dead. Very, very dead. Possibly liquefied." "Oh, I felt pretty rough for a couple hours," Rebecca admitted. "Numbness, some sweating, weird visual stuff. Took some antihistamines and slept it off." "Antihistamines," Thexiel repeated flatly. "And ibuprofen." The swelling was annoying. She tapped the containment box. "Can you help him or not? I think he might have eaten something that disagreed with him." Thexiel's mind raced through the medical literature. Humans were from Earth, that death world everyone whispered about. The planet where the atmosphere was corrosive oxygen, where the weather could kill you in minutes, where the dominant species had clawed their way to sentience despite having no natural defenses whatsoever. "Your immune system," Thexiel said carefully. "How does it work exactly?" "I'm not a doctor, but basically it attacks anything foreign. Sometimes too aggressively. That's why we get allergies and autoimmune disorders." Rebecca shrugged. "Why?" "Because what you're describing is every species in the galaxy has immune systems, but they're designed to recognize and eliminate specific pathogens they evolved alongside. Your system apparently just attacks everything and asks questions later." "That sounds about right," Rebecca agreed. "Is that weird?" Thexiel thought about the 17 neurotoxins that should have destroyed her nervous system. Her immune response had apparently looked at millions of years of evolved lethality and said, "Not today." "Extremely weird, yes." The examination of the viper took 2 hours. Thexiel, working through reinforced gloves and protective barriers that Rebecca seemed to find amusing, eventually determined the creature had simple indigestion from eating prey that was too large. "He just needs smaller meals and maybe a probiotic," Thexiel advised, preparing a medication that cost more than most beings' monthly salary. "For a pet. A deadly, illegal in 17 systems pet." "Thanks, Doc," Rebecca said, carefully extracting the viper from a box. It wrapped around her arm affectionately, tongue flicking against her skin. She scratched under its chin, and the creature's bioluminescence pulsed in contentment. "Aren't you afraid it will bite you again?" Thexiel asked. Rebecca smiled. "He didn't mean it. He was just startled. Besides, you build up tolerance." "You build up." Thexiel's translator actually glitched. "You're deliberately exposing yourself to lethal venom to develop immunity." "Not deliberately. It just kind of happens when you handle venomous animals." She packed up the viper, who seemed much more active now. "Humans back on Earth do it all the time. Snake handlers, spider keepers, even beekeepers develop resistance to their bees' stings." As Rebecca left, Thexiel pulled up the classified file on Earth. The warning labels covered 3 screens. Under native fauna threat assessment, there was a note that made everything suddenly clear. Humans coexist with approximately 600 venomous species. Their children are taught to identify lethal creatures by age 5. They keep them as pets. They have developed recreational activities around handling them. Conclusion: evolution on Earth required surviving everything, all the time. Humans are the result. HFY watched Rebecca walk down the corridor